show on the road. So hello, Mel. Lovely to have you here. A couple of technical hitches to begin with, but we are here. Fabulous, brilliant. So we all had our fingers crossed while we were waiting for you to join us. So I've just done a quick intro. I've just started recording, so I'll do another quick brief introduction. So I've been following Mel for a while now. We are in a couple of a few of the same business communities on Facebook, and I've just been fascinated watching Mel's story unfold in the last couple of years. Now, those of you who don't know, Mel is a former actress who was on Hollyoaks, and now she is a health guru, health goddess, and releasing her first book with Hay House tomorrow. So let me hand you over quickly to Hay House author Mel Wells, and let me just tell me a little bit in your own words about you.
Oh, well, about me, let's see. So where do I begin? I was an actress and a model, and I had a lot of issues around food. And during that time, I had a very unhealthy body image, really didn't have a good relationship with food and my body. And this kind of transcended into a keen interest in nutrition. And I started training in nutrition and trained to be a health coach, thinking that would solve my issues around food and heal that relationship. It didn't. It just gave me a new set of perfect, healthy rules to follow. So I set about healing myself and finding my own system that worked for me, heal my relationship with food. So that's what my book is about. It's about ending diets, ending the war on our bodies, and having a beautiful relationship with ourselves, beautiful relationship with food and our bodies again. That's the work that I do with my clients. That's what I do on my retreats, in my online courses. It's all about getting out of the diet mentality, ending the body shaming, the body hate, and starting to have, a really great balance with food again.
Fantastic. Now, some people could possibly be watching this and thinking, well, how could this successful, glamorous actress have, body issue problems? She's not overweight. She's clearly doesn't need to lose any weight. But, and I certainly understand what you're saying. Yes, it's all about mindset, but just kind of, they're probably saying, some people thinking, God, what is this woman talking about? How could she possibly have body image issues? Tell us a little bit about that time, perhaps, when you were in the public eye and, when you were modeling, what was going on inside of your head at that time?
I developed an eating disorder from quite a young age. So I had a lot of issues around food. That was to do with my environment changing, me feeling like I needed to control elements of my life, and using food, turning to food as my comfort, as my safety blanket, as my thing to use and abuse and control. For anyone that is kind of thinking, oh, who's she to kind of say that she doesn't look overweight or whatever, issues with food in your body don't start or end at a certain size. It's all up in your mind, and there's women that I've worked with that are a size 6. There's women that I've worked with that are a size 16. There's women that I've worked with that are a size 26. Everyone is in control of their own mind. It's not to do with how you look. You can make no judgments based on appearance alone. You really don't know anything about what's going on inside a woman's head. Even if someone looks like on the outside they're drinking green smoothies and snacking on almonds, you don't know what they're actually doing to themselves when they go home at night. You don't know what their relationship with food and their body is like. A lot of the women that I work with, you would think that they are so happy in their bodies. They look healthy, they look fit, they look vibrant. I work with a lot of personal trainers, people that are in the limelight as well. You really just can't tell anything about what's really going on. It just kind of proves that, to be honest. And the whole time that I was really struggling with my food and my weight, I was still maintaining a pretty healthy weight, but my mindset was messed up. Like, my approach to food was messed up, which is what the important thing is.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the thing is, actually, from my own background, now I'm quite a bit older than you. I was a model myself back in the 90s. So I completely understand where this whole body image thing comes from. And I don't think most people realize that before you see an image of a model looking amazing in a magazine, actually the work that goes on behind the scenes, the hours you spend in makeup, the fantastic lighting. And then nowadays, I think back then we didn't have Photoshop so much. I'm talking quite a while ago now, but now, gosh, airbrushing and, you know, just you even know just from Snapchat and the filters you can put on yourself, how you can instantly enhance your features, but take that to a glossy magazine. And so young girls today are being subjected to unrealistic expectations of, you know, people, you know, because when you look in the mirror and you look at an airbrushed, filtered person in a magazine, it's just an impossible comparison. So could you tell us a little bit about, you know, your experience of, you know, modeling days and the TV days and that sort of thing, and just the impact it's going to have on young girls? And yeah,
I do. I am very concerned about the way that social media is going at the moment, because yes, like from a very young age, we've all been subjected to what beauty looks like, and, you know, Barbie dolls and celebrities, you know, they go through all this work, you know, makeup, you know, whatever, lighting, and then they're still airbrushed within an inch of their lives, on these big campaigns. So what we've got is now we're living in this social media world where people can actually airbrush their own faces, Photoshop themselves. And you've got people putting up, you know, selfies here, there, and everywhere with like contours, and their faces just look like shiny and like Barbie. And you've got a lot of people definitely feeling very inadequate, very self-conscious, and very much like they're not enough. Certainly when I was in the modeling world, you know, you definitely, there's this constant belief that, like, you know, you should look perfect and, you know, you need to be fixed. And even if you show up and you're in great shape and you're looking fantastic, exactly how they want you, they will still airbrush you and they will still fix you. And, you know, that's something that you just can't escape, and it's really damaging. You know, I was sent home from jobs because my measurements were not perfect. You know, I got sent home from a catwalk job once because they told me that my arms were too toned, and they said, you need to go to the gym less. And I was like, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to, like, you know, this is just not what you not want me to have. Like, do you not want me to be toned? It's just, you just can't win, basically. No. You literally cannot win is the bottom line. So if you don't love and accept yourself and have that attitude of, I'm here as me, take it or leave it, then you're not gonna win in the game. You know, it does require you to have a really thick skin. But I think just for any woman right now, modeling aside, any woman right now is being subjected to a lot of ridiculously high expectations of beauty on social media. You know, I think celebrities are not even like, I think bloggers are the new celebrities, you know, people that we're following on Instagram, people that young girls, you know, you've got to look at who the young girls are idolizing. And the people that the young girls are idolizing, the role models, are these like bloggers on social media, and these, you know, the Kardashians, and people that are constantly changing their appearance with fillers and surgery and editing and filtering, and it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming, and it's concerning. It definitely
is. Just a couple of the comments here. We've said here, you know, people, you know, 7-year-old daughters are being affected, 12-year-old daughters, you know, worry about the way look. It is really, so hopefully with a message people like you are sharing, then you know, there'll be new role models to kind of follow. But so, Mel, I'm just interested now, what flicked the switch for you in your mind? What was a catalyst that kind of made you think, right, this is, you know, you said you studied nutrition, but that wasn't the answer. What was the thing that flipped the switch in your mind?
The thing that flipped the switch in my mind was actually when it became not about me, when it became about me being a mum and having a family. So I have always wanted to be a mum. Me and my ex-husband started having real conversations about having a family. And it was only then that I was like, hang on a minute, like I have to be okay with my body changing. I have to be okay with gaining weight through a pregnancy. And how on earth am I going to bring a young girl into this world if I'm abusing my body in this way that I am? If I'm constantly on a diet, constantly scrutinizing myself in the mirror, how can I do that and not expect a young girl to follow in my footsteps? So I was like, it's so important now that I have to be a good role model for my future family. And I also was just so, I was so consumed with food rules and like being really strict, that I knew that my body was not a loving environment, if that makes sense. Like, I knew that I was fueling it with hate. I knew that I was trying to control it. I knew that I was trying to manipulate it. And I knew that if I was going to bring a baby into the world and be a mother, I had to let go of that.
Yeah.
So I was very obsessed with my weight at the time, so I threw away the scales. I forced myself to listen to my body and eat foods that made my body feel good, instead of eating what I thought was like the right food to eat, or the food that was going to make me lose weight or whatever. And I just surrendered it all, basically. And I said to myself, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to gain some weight. You're going to have to get over that because you want to be a mum, and that's way more important. So it just really shifted my perspective. Okay.
So what is your philosophy around food, Mel? Because there's so many different diets out there, so many different kind of no carbs, low carbs, paleo, this, whatever. What is your philosophy to a healthy diet?
Well, my philosophy is don't diet, basically. There's so much overwhelming information, like you said. Everything conflicts with each other. There's so many experts on the internet all saying different things one way or another. So my philosophy is be your own expert. Stop listening to what so-and-so says, what this person says on Facebook, what this person says on Instagram, what this book says, because you'll never be able to follow everyone's rules. You just won't be able to. One person says, veganism is the way forward. One person says you should be eating steak for breakfast. One person says don't eat carbs after 4 p.m. One person says you should be fasting till 3 p.m. You just can't do it all. It's overwhelming. So you have to be your own expert. You have to almost put your blinkers on to all the crap out there and just focus on what works for you and what because your body is more smart than you give her credit for. We all think that our bodies are useless without rules and structure around food. But the truth is, if we actually abandoned the rules and the structure and actually just listen to our bodies, use your intuition, your body's natural intuition, and know what it needs to thrive, know what it needs to be nourished with. When you take full ownership over every choice that you make around food, you shouldn't have the guilt afterwards. You shouldn't have the resentment, the shame, the blame, the feelings of regret. That's what I'm big on, because that is to do with your relationship with food, not just the food itself. It's no good having fantastic nutrition and exercising if you're beating yourself up after having a blip or not being perfect. So that's what I'm all about, the mindset, the actual approach to food, because it all starts up here. You can't expect your body to change if your mindset's out of whack or not in the right place.
And do you have any particular tools and tips and techniques to, for mindset work? What's your kind of tools of choice?
Yeah, everything is a mindset shift, really. I think there's a lot of things that we tell ourselves about our bodies, about food, that are really just stories that we've learned or picked up along the way, from our environment, from people that we're spending time with, from things we're reading. And a lot of the work that I do is about unpicking that and unlearning certain things and rewriting that story and really visualizing about not just the body that you want in terms of how you think your body should look, but actually how you want your body to feel. I think so many of us are so driven on what our body should look like in the mirror. And we're completely neglecting how we actually feel. That is the most important thing, how we actually feel in our own skin. And when people are going on a diet, when people are saying oh, this is the size I want to be, this is the weight I want to be, this is whatever, it's not about the number. It's not about the size. It's about the feeling. They think that they're going to feel a certain way in their body when they get to that
Absolutely.
size. So what I think we should be doing is focusing on feeling fantastic in the bodies that we have, and then the actual weight follows.
Fantastic. That sounds perfect. And that's probably that. Whilst I'm not a health and nutrition coach, that's exactly the same advice I'd give. And very similar thing I did a few years back. I did a vision board, and I just had my daughter was 2 or 3 by then, and I still couldn't get rid of the baby weight. So rather than put on my vision board, I wanted to be a certain weight, because I was doing that for a while. I thought I want to be 9 stone again. I want to be 9 stone. But actually, that's rubbish. How do I want to feel? And I wanted to be a healthy mum. I wanted to have energy and be vibrant and youthful, and that's how I wanted to feel. So yes, I'm so glad that So now, I
kind of know that from experience. I know from all my dieting days that I would say right, this is the weight I want to be. I would do whatever it took to get there, and I would get there and I would not be happy.
Absolutely.
You know, I thought that I would get there and feel really comfortable in my own skin and feel really confident, and I didn't, you know, and I was up and down like about 6 dress sizes over years. At no point throughout any of that did I feel happy, did I feel comfortable in my own skin. And you're talking like a difference of like 30 pounds each way, you know. Didn't feel happy at any of those points because my mindset was all over the place. I didn't love myself. There was nothing healthy about the way that I was talking to myself or treating myself.
Now, so Mel, tell us about your book. So this is a super exciting day. I know this is a really busy day for you. I know your schedule is jam-packed. So thank you for giving me this time. But so just tell us about your book.
Sure. So my book is called The Goddess Revolution, Make Peace with Food, Love Your Body and Reclaim Your Life. It's published by Hay House. It's out tomorrow. So today is a crazy day because it's the day before the third. But basically, yeah, exactly what you said before. Like, this book is full of mindset shifts, lessons, tools that I've learned, how I healed my own relationship with food and my body, and how the hundreds, thousands of women that I've worked with have been able to do the same. So it's got my story in there, it's got some of their stories in there, but really it's an accumulation of lessons and mindset shifts. So there's no recipes. It's not like a full color cookbook. It's not like that. This is more of a psychological, like, deep mindset work that you have to do.
So is the cookbook the follow-up book, Mel?
We'll see. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, let's get this book. Let's talk about this book first. So, I'm so excited for you. Now, those of you who are watching live, now Mel has got an amazing competition coming up, but I just want to stress, if you're watching this on the replay, this is only probably going to be available till about 9 p.m. UK time today. So today's the 6th of June, 9 p.m. So if you're watching this on replay, this competition will have expired by now. So tell us a little bit about this competition, Mel.
Sure. So my pre-order competition. So basically, obviously the book is out tomorrow, so today is the last day to pre-order. When you pre-order, you get, I've got like 3 digital bonuses. One of them is a 10-day mini course on detoxing from diets. So if you're stuck in this diet mentality, that's what you need. A guide on healing your relationship to food, and a 10-page recipe ebook. But that's if you pre-order 1 book. If you pre-order 3 books and put your order number in, because obviously the idea is I want people to spread it with their girlfriends, then you get entered into a competition to win a spot on my retreat in Bali this year.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people enter, but I'll be announcing the winner tonight on a webinar.
Fantastic.
So like 9 p.m. tonight to do that.
So tell us a bit about your webinar as well. So this is your online launch party.
Yes, so my official like online launch party is tonight. The actual press launch party in person is tomorrow night in London. But tonight is like the online version, so I can invite like all my peeps on my list.
Fantastic. I don't know if you can pop a link into that, Mel, in the comments. If you can just
what link for what? Link
for the party, for the books.
Okay. Yeah, link for the online party is there.
That's a brilliant thing about Blab. We can pop the link straight into the chat so people can.
Oh, that's weird. I'm putting it in and it's just coming up as a smiley face.
Okay, right. That just shows how happy you are about this whole thing. Let's see.
I'm not supposed to post links. I don't think you're allowed to.
Oh, I think you can. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah. Normally it's Link City.
It's just coming up with a smiley face.
Oh, how strange. Okay, let me just have a quick look, see if I can do it. Amazon Mel. I would just want to get the link up while we are on the interview.
Someone's just shared it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. What a helpful crowd we have. There you go.
That is the link indeed.
There you go. Wonderful.
If you want to pre-order the book, it's the same link, but it's /pre-order instead of / The Goddess Revolution. Thank you so much, social media link.
Yeah, fantastic. So I just want to know, if anybody's got any questions for Mel, please pop them into the chat. I think there was a little question earlier. This is can you set your kids up with the right bloggers and mentors? Not quite sure what you mean by that, Greg, but
I think I kind of get what means. It's difficult because you can't control what your kids are looking at on the internet today. It's really difficult to police that.
I can testify to that. I've got two. Yeah, I've got an 11-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter, and they are on YouTube all the time. You know, my son is all football stuff, but my daughter, it's the people she watches, you know, Zoella and these American girls. It is just crazy. But yeah. So tell us your take on that now.
Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, I'm not a mum, so I can't really vouch for this, but I can just only imagine like how difficult it is to have a young daughter or son growing up on the internet. This is not something that we had to deal with. But I think, yeah, just as long as you kind of, it would be great if you as a parent could loosely monitor who they're looking at and who they're following and who they're actually spending time looking at. And if it's someone that is like a big part of their lives, because a lot of these kids, you know, they spend so much time looking at these people that they actually feel like they know them.
They do, yeah.
As a parent, I would be getting involved in those conversations and saying, oh, I want to watch it too, and just kind of just watching it, you know, and just seeing what it is that they're actually looking at. Because it's crazy, like this free reign that we have with the internet now. We can literally say anything we want and got a space to be heard. And if there's an 18-year-old female blogger, she's got millions of followers, she can say what she likes and people are there to listen. So, you know, I don't have an answer, to be honest. Do the best that you know how to and be involved as much as you can. You know, I think it's really important that you have an open communication with your kids, because like when I was growing up, you know, when I had all these problems with my eating disorders, you know, I certainly felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to. No one really understood. I didn't have any kind of, I wanted a mentor to kind of talk me through what I should be doing. And there wasn't anyone. And now I am that person. Like I am that mentor. But at the time, the reason that I was finding like online communities was because I was like, I don't feel like I'm understood at home. Like my mum never had any issues with food. She had never any issues with her body. So I felt like she didn't really get it. So my advice would be, as a parent, make sure that you have that kind of relationship with your kids where they can talk to you about everything, where they feel like they can come to you and there's an open communication, because it's only if they feel like they're not being understood at home that they're going to search for help elsewhere or search for someone that gets it or someone that they feel like, you know, they can relate to, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And yeah, it is quite hard for parents these days, but I think hopefully now there is a new breed of people, and, you know, as we talked about earlier, that, you know, kids aren't watching TV so much now, they are watching YouTube, that these people do have a responsibility to young people, but obviously we can't control their content, but certainly with people like you to look up to as well. And I just think that the perception is changing, and also with kind of YouTube and with real-time access, you are going to see people warts and alls. You can't airbrush YouTube as much, so hopefully it's going to be healthier. And yes, obviously as parents, it's down to us to monitor our children's activity. End of. So yeah, so I think the question is just complete. Sorry, just see if a couple of other questions have come up. So, Laura, don't all teenage children feel like the parents don't know anything, understand regardless? I know I did. It's only, yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, our children are going to make mistakes, but I guess the thing is now the children are exposed to it at such a much younger age now, that is kind of the frightening thing about it. So now, Mel, I'm going to ask you the question. So those of you tuning in, I don't think I was recording at the beginning. So I'm an EFT coach and practitioner, and I help people to set goals and to, you know, set a big vision for themselves as well, but also get clear on their big vision. So I'm going to ask you, Mel, what is your big vision for yourself now? It's kind of like your dreams have come true. You're a Hay House author. You're still young. You know, what is? Was I correct in reading? Are you Hay House's youngest author? Mm-hmm. That's amazing, fabulous. So what's your big vision for yourself? What's next? What's next for Mel?
Well, you know, it's really strange that you say what's next, because I'm actually making a conscious effort right now to not always be focusing on what's next and trying to celebrate the now, because I am someone that has in the past jump from like one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. So I'm trying to like celebrate the fact that I have a book out tomorrow, which is like unreal. I've been like manifesting and you know, really anticipating for such a long time. What's next is basically just trying to get the book into as many hands of women that need it as possible. Any woman that's been a dieter her whole life, any woman that's can't understand why she can't lose weight, any woman that, you know, is beating herself up constantly around food and body image, you know, anyone that's had issues with food or felt like they're a slave to the scales. I want this book to be in those women's hands. I want people to be talking about it. I want women to recommend it to their girlfriends. I want people to, you know, see it on social media and think, I've got to have that book. I've had some amazing press reviews recently. I just had an amazing review from OK Magazine, and a huge, like, amazing review from the editor of Women's Health magazine as well on her Instagram. Got a big piece in the Telegraph today. So it's really now just about spreading the word. That's what I want to do, just spread it like wildfire and get as many people reading it as possible, because I know that this work, you know, from the work that I've done in my online course and the women that I've worked with, I know that this is transformational work. I know that this changes people's lives, and so that is what's gone into the book. So I know that the effect that it can have will be huge if I just spread it enough and get it into enough people's hands.
Fantastic. So then if everybody's watching here, if you could all tweet this blab out on social media, that will help spread the message. I'm delighted to play my small part in helping spread your message, because I'm so excited for you, and I'm so delighted that your vision of becoming a Hay House author has manifested for you. I just, you know, I've really been cheering you on in the background, unknowingly to you, like some weird stalker. No, not really. Yeah, just super, super delighted for you. And I wish you every success with the book.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And just want to add very quickly, so this interview with Mel, this is part of my 30-day Joyful June Big Vision Boot Camp, where every day in June in my Facebook group, I'm just bringing a little bit more inspiration to my community to help people in areas of health, wealth and happiness. And obviously Mel here is the big chunk of my health piece. And yeah, again, I just want people just to embrace all those different aspects of their lives, because, you know, yes, money is great, but, you know, without health, that's not going to, you know, you need good health is like the foundation of a happy life. And then obviously just to increase levels of happiness as well. So if you want to come along and join me in my group, it's Tapping Into Your Big Vision over on Facebook. I'd love to see you all there. And we've still got another 24 days of amazing content to come. I've got another interview later on today with Sandy Newbegin, another Hay House author. This is like my own Hay House Summit.
I love Sandy.
Oh, he's amazing.
Sandy, I said hi.
I will do. But that's going to be a pre-recorded interview, which is going to be coming out later on this month. So come along and find me in my Facebook group, and you'll get access to all the content. It's very unstructured. It's very laid back. So let me just see any last questions. Oh, somebody's asked, will there be a translation in Dutch or in any other languages in the future?
I hope so. I don't actually know that kind of detail. That's a Hay House question. I wish I knew that kind of thing. But yeah. I hope so.
Yeah, let's visualize it. 30
you.
different languages all around the world. #1 New York Times bestseller. So thank you so much, Mel. Thank you everybody for watching, and all the best with the book, and hope to chat to you again soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.